time for another BookTok book review for the 10th book I read of the year, and it was on my Kindle. It was Portrait of a Girl by Dörthe Binkert. I apologize if I mispronounced that name. I downloaded this as an Amazon Prime free read. I think if I recall, it said 2014. And I decided to give it a go now. And I don't know why I finished it. I should have stopped reading it. It was very, very unenjoyable. This is the first 1-star read I've had of the year. I can't remember the last time I gave a book 1 star. I was just reading it going, why was this written? What is the purpose? And I was thinking, how am I going to do a plot synopsis of this book? Because when you don't fully understand what drives a book, it kind of makes it difficult to talk about. So it's 1896 in the Swiss Alps, and she starts out mute, Nika. A family finds her and takes her in, and we learn she's run away. She was abandoned as a baby. She has a locket that was left behind with her when her mother abandoned her, so she wants to find her mother. And then an artist, whose name I can't recall or pronounce right now, but he was a real artist, and I'll put his name in somewhere, discovers her and becomes obsessed with her, and she with him. And he wants to use her as a muse. It gives off very girl with a pearl earring vibe sometimes. But in the meantime, the son of the family who takes her in becomes interested in her. This artist becomes interested in her. A man who runs the hotel that she works for becomes interested in her. A photographer journalist becomes interested in her. I don't know why so many people become infatuated with her, and why she becomes a jealousy factor for another woman in the story. I just kept going, why is this girl, this woman, this just puts people's lives at a halt and destroys lives and makes them question things, and why? There's also a side story about this girl who has tuberculosis and is in a special tuberculosis hospital, and she's engaged, but she becomes infatuated with another man, but she ends up falling in love with that man's friend, but her aunt likes the friend. I don't know what's going on. I genuinely don't know why that side story was in this. It could have been its own book if it wanted to be. I didn't understand why it was there. My family saw how disgruntled I was reading this, and I would literally fall asleep while reading it, and that rarely happens when I'm reading a book that I enjoy. This book should have taken me much less time, but I just didn't care, and I didn't need to read it to know what's going on. It wasn't burning in me going, what's going to happen, because I genuinely didn't care. And then when it ended, I was so thankful, but then I turned off my Kindle and said, why? Why did this story need to be told? Why did any of this happen, and why did it matter? There also could have been a translation issue. Some of the translation was very jarring, like when the aunt tells her niece to get dressed and go downstairs for dinner, and the niece goes, no way. I was like, I don't think that's how it would have been said in 1896 in the Swiss Alps. I don't think the niece would have gone, no way, because this isn't a 90s sitcom, That's really all I can say about this. This is one of those you'd have to go read the synopsis yourself to see what it's about, and I can't wholeheartedly recommend this, but I'm sure there's people out there who would enjoy it. Reading and likes and dislikes are completely subjective. and this one just wasn't for me. I did find some quotes, so I'll put those up next, but otherwise, I'm very glad this book is over and I can move on. So until next time, happy reading. Bye.